So, hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about the moment that how I got sexually assaulted in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. It's a very long story, and I hope you could bear with me. But long story short is that I guess 1 or 2 weeks ago, I went on a random trip to both Cambodia and Vietnam. So Cambodia was my first destination. This is my third time going on a backpacking. Backpacking is basically means that what it basically means is that you go on a trip with a very low budget. You don't go all for all those fancy, luxurious, flashy things while traveling, and you're not considered as a tourist per se. So during that time, I knew that Cambodia had Sangkran going on, or in their local language, in the Khmer language, it's the Chol Chinam Khmer celebration. What it basically is that it's a celebration whereby you get to shoot people and splash other people with water. Historically and culturally speaking, this celebration signifies one person's repentance. It's a way for a person to cleanse themselves from all the impurities, from all of their sins that they've accumulated throughout their whole lifetime. Well, this Khmer New Year is not all about the splashes. It's about people going to the pagodas, going all of these temples and seeking for forgiveness and to supplicate for towards Buddha. I think that's their main religious beliefs. And what's surprising is that in Cambodia they even have a ministry known as the Ministry for Cult. I find it quite intriguing because usually we don't use the word cult, but I think it's more fitting to use the word religion. But it is what it is. So yeah, I went to Cambodia for Sangkran, or Khmer New Year. During that time, it was in the evening, maybe around 6 p.m. In Malaysia, 6 p.m. it's still bright, but at 6 p.m. over there, it's already very dark. I put on my best gear. I put on a jersey, a black jersey, a pair of shorts, and I didn't want to buy a war gun because I didn't want to put the gun inside my luggage and bring it back to Malaysia. It's gonna it's gonna fill up my bag too much, right? So what I did was I made a makeshift gun, like a ball. I took a 1.5 liter bottle and filled it with water, and then poke a hole onto the lid so I can use it and squeeze the bottle so that water will shoot out of the lid. So here's where things get really spicy, okay? I got back to my hostel, I changed into my clothes, into my gear, and I thought to myself, okay, now I'm in Cambodia. It's perfectly the best time for me to go out there and show myself to the world. Join into the fun and join in the splash and get wet. Well, not wet in that context, but wet as in, it's really hard to. I don't need to explain that to you guys, but wet. Water guns. Okay. So yeah, that's my main reason. That's one of the main reasons why I want to go to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. It's because I want to experience the Sangkran magic, the Sangkran fun. That's what Vanda says in his music video. Okay. Because after a very long time, a very long day, going to a lot of museums, walking around the capital city of Phnom Penh, why not just release some stress and have some fun in the evening, hanging out with all the youths? When I was there, the celebration was held around Wat Phnom. It was a roundabout in the middle of Phnom Penh, and in the middle of that roundabout was Wat Phnom. It was a temple built in the 14th century. It's really ancient and old. So I gathered and we paraded. It was like a large crowd of youths parading the entire circle. We were walking in a circle. There were like a lot of boys and girls, very young. I don't know. They looked like children, like in high school, secondary school, maybe in their university years. I don't know. But there were also adults there. So, but when there are adults, it felt kind of out of place because it's a celebration that it's usually for kids, right? I don't think adults go there, but I still feel young, so I still went there for Sangkran. And during that celebration, they all slapped. white powder like talcum onto your face. I don't know what's the significance or the reason why they do that, but it did smell very fragrant. It did smell very nice. Everyone brought their own water gun. Some even brought automatic electric electric guns, water guns there. It's really cool. Like you can hear the sound of the machine guns, like real machine gun sounds from the guns when they're shooting, and they have a big tank of water behind their back carrying it. Okay, during that time, it was so. I loved how there were so many illuminating lights decorating and embellishing the entire road. They even turned on the music, electro music, EDM, those party music, and then everybody was dancing, everybody was jumping, everybody was shooting each other with water guns. There were people who wanted to stand out and get attention from others. They wore a little bit of revealing clothes, a bit, I guess. It was really crazy and insane and chaotic during that time. And because I went there alone, I had no one to shoot or hang out with, so I just joined the large crowd and walk around, just randomly shoot people with water with my water ball, right? Like I squeeze it and then the water will spurt out. And that's when the craziest thing happened to me. As I got a little bit bored after maybe almost 2 hours walking in a circle, I decided that maybe it's time for me to go back and sleep. I was so tired from the entire day exploring the city, going to the museums, going to the royal palace. Maybe I was tired of maybe going to the central market. I guess I think I also went to the circle mosque. So yeah, I decided to leave the circle, and as I was about to leave, I noticed that there was this long, like a few group of people lining up as I was about to exit. And as I got closer, I began to see their faces. It was their faces was were extremely scary. Not as scary as in like a ghost or a specter, but it was scary because of the thing that they were about to do to me. Okay, they were I was walking and they were standing in a line, and as I approached them, that thing finally happened. One of that, I don't know if he was gay or not, but it felt kind of gay. He like put powder on my face like this, like that, and he suddenly came and smooched my cheek like, oh god damn, what? I was startled, I was stunned, I was shocked, utterly flabbergasted. There are no amount of words that I could describe how violated I felt during that time. Okay, first he like slathered powder on my face in a very erotic way, I guess, and suddenly like smooched my cheek. At first, I thought, okay, let's ignore that. It's just another dude being a dude. Maybe he's just being like giving off those bromance vibes, right? But then as I walked further to the other person in the line, I noticed that I don't know if it was a she or a he, but it looks like a transgender, like a ladyboy, because a girl in Cambodia is not this tall. Okay, I'm this. This is my height, and that person was like this tall. And when I look closer at that person's face, you can tell it's not a real woman. It's a ladyboy. It's a guy pretending to be a woman and wearing a wig. And I think that person was wearing a bra or something, like a very revealing tank top. And I got absolutely crushed. I was broken into pieces when suddenly that lady boy, I guess, took I'll just say the word her fingers, and put it here, and then pinched my chest like that. And while she was like pinching my chest, she was making like sounds like like what, bro? Oh my god. I felt assaulted, sexually assaulted at that time. And until this very day, I'm trying to delete that memory. Like I want to bleach that memory out of my brain. Use all types of chlorine. Used all types of like acidic alkaline. I don't know what kind of elements of rest, but just want to clean it. I want to reboot my brain from not thinking about it, because every time I think about Khmer New Year, every time I think about Sangkran, it's gonna like buzz in my head forever. I can't remove it. I can't extinguish it from my brain. And you can see how the impact of those actions had made upon me. If I know the story of sexual assault survivors, I think that's how they will have felt. Okay, I have to express my dissatisfaction in this video. If I did not, it will mean that I'm also gay and I enjoyed those things, but I absolutely did not. I absolutely did not enjoy those moments. Okay, it was not a sweet memory for me. Trust me, bro. It's not sweet at all. It's not. There's nothing special about that. It was a, but I have got to say, I wasn't. I did not enjoy it, but at the same time, I was offended. So come on, guys, please believe me. I did not enjoy it. I'm laughing. It's not because genuinely enjoyed it, but it's because it was really shocking for me. Okay, it was absolutely insane, crazy to the core. So yeah, that's my that's what happened to me during Sangkran. I hope that I could experience something similar when I go to other neighboring countries, maybe Myanmar for Tingyan. I hope maybe the regime, maybe the civil war will end by that time. Maybe try something similar in Laos, maybe in Thailand. Yeah, it's a celebration that's very widespread and common in Indochina. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I hope you guys will be very careful if you go for a Sangkran somewhere in the future, and try to avoid something like that. Like that, what happened to me. So, thank you guys for listening until the very end, and I hope to see you again soon. Ciao.